Could it be that she still hasn't managed to get over what happened in her first trial? Come to think of it, she was also at the beacon, so it wouldn't be too surprising if she got a similar ritual to that of Kate. This is not good. Kate might be strong enough to endure the emotional trauma caused by such a trial, but what about Layla? Maybe I should go talk to her and see how she's holding out. Layla, is everything alright? I say as I get a little closer to her. Layla looks surprised when she hears my voice. I think she has gotten used to being ignored in these situations due to her quiet nature and a generally weak sense of presence. She raises her head to look at me in the eyes, and then she nods slightly in order to answer my question. I'm fine, Layla Rice, just a little shaken up, that's all. Do you want to talk about it? I ask her. Again, Layla looks at me surprised for a second, but then she smiles faintly as she writes a new text in the air in front of me. Not now, Layla writes, but maybe later. Since Layla didn't really feel like talking at the moment, I decided to give her some space so she could be alone with her own thoughts. As I went back to my original spot, I saw that Flower was now busy talking with Melindra, while Kate was still helping Rose with the test. Apparently, Rose had already found a way to use her time-slowing powers, and now she was trying to see if she could unslow Kate as well so that she could benefit from the effects of her spell. I tried to help Rose too, but after spending more than 15 minutes doing tests, it didn't look like we were making any progress. Well, it sure has been a while since we finished our first trials, Dylan says. After some time, I wonder why it's taking so long for the second stage to start. I'll tell you why, Arka says. It's because you schmucks gave Skelkram so much raw material to work with in the first stage that he's still busy converting it all into energy. What? Dylan says. Your negative emotion, Arka says, that's the raw material that Silkrum is using to convert into magical energy. And while you losers were busy repeating those trials over and over, sinking into the depths of despair or cursing the god of time, you were giving him exactly what he wanted. Honestly, I think he got so much energy from you people that he might not even need a second stage from your group. I guess we'll see about that soon enough. Well, I'm happy to have been of assistance, Ellen says in a dry tone. I suppose this gives us more time to investigate the area then. Come on, Adric, let's try interacting with more of these frozen insects and trees. Maybe we'll be able to find one that isn't protected by an invisible, impermeable shield, so we can finally cancel this damn time freezing spell. Although Darren and Hardrick got to patrol the area for quite a while longer, they didn't manage to find anything useful. Eventually, a bright white light covered our area once again, and this time I could feel my whole body being transported somewhere else instead of only my consciousness. When the light fades away, we all find ourselves in the middle of the city, which is unusual to say the least. The first thing that catches my attention is that there is a very large black tower in every corner of the city, and on top of each of these 4 towers there is an incredible amount of magical energy that can be seen even with naked eye. The energy has a purple color and is moving wildly in every direction as if it were trying to escape its prison. On each side of these 1,000-foot tall towers, 1,000 foot? What is that, like 300-400 meters? Holy shit, that's high. I think that's how the conversion works, right? Yeah, somewhere around there, I'm sure. Let's see, the energy has a, yeah. On each side of these 1,000-foot tall towers, there are big floating platforms that keep going up and down at slow speed, and they seem to be carrying hundreds of people towards the levels of the towers that need to reach. Leaving these strange tall buildings aside, what is even more peculiar is that what's happening directly above us. Currently, there are hundreds of metal horseless carriages flying through the air, with people inside them. While these carriages are flying around, there is a large holographic scene floating above us. Oh, like an ad? Picturing a man that is relaying the same message over and over in the common language. The holographic scenes look just like the ones that were created by Golumek's illusion casting device when he announced our first objectives. The message that keeps getting repeated as all non-city citizens are to present themselves to the military reserve area immediately. We are under attack. I repeat, we are under attack. Ancient level check failed. Level 4. Holy shit. The flying carriages are moving in a frenzy while people around us are all hurrying in the same direction, which I'm guessing is the way to the military reserve area. As if it wasn't already unsettling enough, I can't help but notice that the whole city is filled to the brim with dark blue banners, having a hawk holding the sun in its talon drawn on each of them. Well, shortly... Why is that dreadful? Okay. Very shortly after being transported here, I also heard someone talking loudly in the Lessethi language through a magical voice magnifier. Although the words he was using were too complicated for me to understand with my current level of ancient languages, I'm not really sure what kind of an attacker could make a whole city panic like this. But something tells me that we are about to find out very soon. I can't believe this, Melindra says as she looks at the black towers in the distance. Those towers coated in ceridium dust look exactly like the kind of buildings the Lessethi Empire used to have thousands of years ago. I've only read about them in books. Even 600 years ago, before the Lessethi Empire fell, you would not see something like this in their cities. The closest I've ever come to seeing anything resembling these towers was in Olander, where they're still preserving old relics from the Sethi Empire days of glory, but still, those were only ruins. For these towers to be in such good condition, we would need to have been sent back to the Lessethi Empire was at its peak 4,000 years ago or even 5,000 years ago. What is the god of time thinking? Never mind the history lesson. Any idea who might be attacking the city? Should I take it that we are still in Varathia then? How do these towers work exactly? I'm pretty damn sure we are in Varathia, because as far as I remember, all we have gotten in terms of history, in terms of like Lessethi, has been on Varathian continent. So I'm guessing we are in Varathia. I do like the history lesson, so I don't really care who is attacking the city. We'll find out eventually anyway. So I think the best course of action is, how do these towers work exactly? From what I know, Melinda says, the energy from these towers was supposedly charged by mages from the city who worked voluntarily every day to keep the energy alive and would receive monthly payments from the Empire as a reward for the contribution to their society. This energy would then be used to power up these flying vehicles that you see above us, and also other technologically advanced devices that would make life easier for every citizen. So if you've been sent to the past again, does that mean there are some events we have to repeat? Hardrick says, no, this is different type of ritual. Araka says, can't you see that you have been transported here with your bodies instead just your consciousness? You're saying that this time we're allowed to change something that happened in this past, Darren says. No, that's not what I'm saying, Araka says. The only way you can change the past is through a time reversal spell. This is obviously not our world. Neither of you were here 5,000 years ago. How old is Araka again? I feel like she mentioned at some point that like X amount of time she has been around. I believe she did say that at some point that she was around 4,000 years, like she was around like the world 4,000 years ago, but I'm not 100% on that. Maybe I'm just making that up. Maybe my mind is just making that up, but who knows. We are in a parallel world similar to ours where the future hasn't happened yet. No matter what we change, it won't affect our reality. Oh, so it's a completely separate world. Yeah, that's what I was thinking, that they're using multiple worlds instead of a single one. Then what is the purpose of this trial? Darren says. No idea, Araka says, but I do think I've managed to figure out why we've been sent here of all places. What do you mean? Iluna says. Remember how in every one of the rituals so far, Selkram has sent you to relive events from your own past? Araka says. Well, like I said before, neither of you have lived anywhere near long enough to have experienced these current events. So by process of elimination, the past that we are now exploring is most likely mine. Alright, she was around 4,000 years. As I said, she has been around a while. Not long after Araka is done talking, the whole sky gradually darkens as a powerful sinister aura envelops the area around us. The flying metal vehicles are now falling one by one, crashing into the buildings below, while a woman in her late 30s is emerging from the... Oh, it's Araka. Emerging from the dark clouds and descending towards us. The robe she is wearing are similar to the traditional wizard robes that used to be worn hundreds of years ago, back when mages were still being called wizards, and that only traditionalist mages like Azarius are still wearing nowadays. As the woman gets closer to us, I see that her eyes are pitch black and that she has a very familiar looking malicious grin on her face. Well, the woman says as she looks towards Araka's amulet. It looks like Selkram sent me a little present. You're all coming from the future, I presume. Let me check my future self for a second. Wow. So you're 5,000 years older than me, huh? I guess I must have gotten really senile with old age if I managed to get myself captured in an amulet by a glorified circus troupe. Seriously, what even are you people? A little girl dressed like a clown, a giant masquerading as a dwarf, a woman dressed in pajamas? It's like you're trying to compete for the most ridiculous dressed wizard group of the century. I'm not dressed like a clown, Flower shouts all of a sudden. These are acrobat clothes. How is it so hard to tell the difference? Yeah, clown clothes are very different from acrobat clothes. I don't know what the hell she's wearing, honestly. The woman laughs as her voice temporarily turns into the three female voices that Araka always lets out when she loses control over the way she speaks. Acrobat clothes, she says. Oh man, this would be so much funnier if it weren't so sad at the same time. Is this really where I'll end up in 5,000 years, trapped in an amulet while I'm forced to play the role of some clown girl's pet? What kind of cruel joke? Has my destiny played on me? Shut up, you moron, Araka from the amulet says. This is your one chance to fix your pathetic past, I mean your future. Don't blow it. Set me free from this amulet so we can make all those self-proclaimed gods pay for banishing us to this realm. They might have beaten us alone, but together we'll be unstoppable. We will kill every single one of the gods from this cheap copy of a world. Then we'll go back to my real world and kill them all over again. Just break this amulet and we'll make a team so unbelievably, fuck's sake, unbelievably, why can I not say that? Powerful that even the Magium will tremble before us. The Magium, Araka in the woman's body says, you're treating the Magium as if it was some sort of a person now. What kind of an idiot have I turned into over the years? You're going to free me or not? Araka in the amulet shouts. No, Araka from the past now adopting a more serious tone. I'm not going to free you. You might have forgotten this due to your old age, but I haven't yet grown as senile as you. Do you seriously expect me to believe that once you get out of the amulet, you will seek to ally yourself with me? Don't make me laugh. I know exactly what you're thinking. As soon as you get out of there, the first thing you'll do is attack me, since I'm by far the biggest threat to your existence. And all the knowledge you've been amassing in those 5,000 years, you may as well end up beating me. Why would I take the risk? It's much easier for me to just leave you inside the amulet to rot until I can find a way to get rid of you for good. You should blame yourself for having been stupid enough to get trapped in an amulet in the first place. I assure you, I will not be making that same mistake anytime soon. Oh yeah, Araka from the present says furiously. You want me to tell you what your future holds, you arrogant buffoon? I'll tell you what's going to happen, and you're going to get trapped in a mountain for thousands of years. All of your plans of vengeance will go down the drain. You're going to be even more useless than I am right now. At least in my current form I can cast a few spells, but you won't be able to do anything for thousands of years, and you deserve everything that's coming to you. I hope you'll have fun in your new prison, you stubborn piece of shit. A piece of trash, not shit.